Hello, it is Allison of The Allison Show. Yes, I gave myself my own show. Moving on. This is part 5 of my How to Be Awesome series. If you want to catch up on parts 1 through 4, there's a link right there that will take you to all of the parts in the series. But basically, quick recap, this series is about finding ways to feel and be more awesome in any aspect of your life. So, it's probably good to ask yourself the question like, where do I want to be more awesome? Do you want to be more awesome in your day-to-day life? Like when you're getting ready for the day and getting ready to take it all on? Do you want to be more awesome in your business? Do you want to be more awesome in talking to people that you're interested in? How do you want to feel more awesome? And I think if you keep that question in mind, it's going to help you when listening to and thinking about these different topics that we're covering to make it more applicable to you. So let's jump right in. Part 5, very excited about it. It is avoiding the comparison trap. Yes, comparing and comparison is a total trap, and that's why I was warranted and doing the dramatic claw hands. I'm going to share 3 things that comparing can do to you and why those 3 things are going to stop you from being and feeling more awesome. So first I want to start with the overarching avoid the comparison trap. Why? Because comparing ruins everything. Period. Number 1, comparing destroys confidence. Now, when you start a business or you start a new project, one of the first things that many experts will tell you to do is to go and research and look into people who are doing something similar to you. The same thing happens when you become a mom for the first time. I know I started turning to these mom blogs and reading all about what they were doing and buying for their children, or maybe for your second baby, or maybe right before you graduate from college or you start a new job. You start looking to what the other people have done before you. And this can actually even be very healthy in a sense of even finding competition, people to push you and want to compel to be better. So when does comparing turn from that good, helpful thing where, you're looking around and you're gathering information, when does it turn from that to destroying your confidence? I think the answer is if in order to make your next move, whether it's your next product that you launch in business, whether it's the next step or decision you take as a person, vacation decision, whatever it is, if you have to look to the side and look at that person that you've been comparing to or looking at for helpful information, if you have to look at what they're doing before you're okay with what you're doing, then your confidence is being destroyed. And you can't be super awesome if you don't have your confidence in place. And there are so many things you can do to boost your confidence. And the quickest thing I've found to destroy my confidence is start comparing myself to other people. So if you've noticed that before you do what you want to do next, you're looking around and comparing what it is you want to do with what other people are doing, you're in the comparison trap, and that sucks because you don't want to be there. So how do we get out of the comparison trap? How do you not let comparing destroy your confidence? Well, I think first and foremost, you have to just try to stop doing it. And that's really hard to do. I want to share a little bit more on that in the number 2 thing that comparing will do to you. And that is comparing ZAPS happy. It's just comparing is doing all these really violent things. It's destroying your confidence. It's zapping your happy. It's very aggressive, right? So why does comparing zap your happy? I'm going to share an experience that happened to me personally where I noticed that comparing was zapping my happy. It literally took me from a 10 on the happy scale to a 2 in 30 seconds or less. So I was super excited about this new campaign job opportunity that I had been given. And, every single person who said, "What's new?" Normally I'm just like, "Oh, just living my life." But when people would ask, I was so excited to have, I'm doing this and I got this offer and it's blowing my mind and it's everything I've ever hoped for and dreamed of and I'm so excited. Literally, that's how excited I was about it. And I was talking to somebody who is doing something similar to what I am interested in. But for some reason, when they told me they had been given that opportunity and I hadn't been given that opportunity, I got so bummed. I was so down on myself. I was comparing myself to their achievement and thinking, wow, Allison, you really suck that you haven't been given an opportunity like that. Like, you're obviously not doing something right. You're obviously not working hard enough in one facet because that opportunity hasn't been given to you, or you haven't figured out a way to bring that opportunity to yourself. And I mean, I am not kidding. It was that quick. I went from like being in tears to how excited I was about the opportunity I had been given to being in tears about how down I was on myself for the opportunity I had not been given. And what did that? What zapped my happy so freaking quick? Comparison. Comparing. And so what did I do to pull myself out of that? What can you do when you find yourself comparing? I think you can do a lot of things. The thing that I personally have found helpful is to stop and ask myself, why am I comparing this to that? Why am I doing it? You know, and so I asked myself that question. I'm like, well, do I think that I deserve this and they don't? No, I don't think they don't deserve it. Is that opportunity something I actually really want for myself? Is that shiny new red tricycle the tricycle I really want? No, I was very happy with my blue tricycle. There really was no reason for me to feel that way, except when I let the comparison trap get me, it brought me down so fast. And it is impossible to feel awesome if you can't be focusing on the things that are actually awesome in your life and making you happy. And because I was comparing, it zapped my happy. And, you know, I called my mom, tried to shake myself out of it. And even just talking through it like this has helped me realize like how silly it was to get stuck in that trap. And that brings me to the number 3 thing, the third thing, that makes more sense, that comparing will do, and why it is just the worst thing in the world. And that is because comparing ignores your unique gifts. What happens, I find, when I am comparing... What happens, I find, when I am comparing myself to someone else is that I am comparing my weaknesses to their strengths. I am not comparing strength against strength. I am comparing the worst parts, the things that I feel awful about in myself that I wish I was better at, and I am comparing it to somebody where that is their strength, that is their unique gift. And that's the problem with comparison. It ignores what makes you you. You know, I also find it hard when I find somebody who has similar traits and talents as I do, and I compare, you know, the two of us because they kind of have some of the skills that I have, and gosh, I get really down on myself because they seem better in other ways. And that's the comparison trap. It is ignoring the things that make me awesome. And like I talked about in part 4, those unique gifts are yours. Nobody else can give your gift the way you do. Nobody else can share your talents the way you do. So even if you have the same talent as someone else, you're letting yourself get caught in that comparison trap. And what did I say about comparing? Comparing ruins everything. All right, hopefully we have established why comparison or comparing totally sucks and why you should avoid the comparison trap. Comparing ruins everything. Number 1, it destroys your confidence. Number 2, it zaps your happy. Number 3, it ignores your unique gifts. I want to leave you with one final thought, and it is this. When you say yes to comparison, you say no to being awesome. And I feel so strongly about that, I got all teary-eyed. So, when you say yes to comparison, you're saying no to being awesome. I hope you guys can keep that with you this week as you do your awesome homework. And for your awesome homework, I want you guys to notice when it's inevitable during the week, I do it, we all do it, when you start to compare, I want you to try to assess what that comparison is doing to you. Is it destroying your confidence? Is it zapping your happy? Are you ignoring your unique gifts and talents in order to do that comparing? And I hope that when you recognize what the comparison is doing to you, that it will make it easier to stop doing it, and it will help you avoid the comparison trap. Let's just all try really hard to do it. I know I'll have a hard time too. I do it. I'm not like the guidebook on being awesome. I'm just trying to figure it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of the How to Be Awesome series, for doing your awesome homework, for leaving comments, for sharing your stories with me. I start crying like every time anybody sends me an email with nice things in it, because it sincerely means so much to me. So thank you. I hope that this can help you feel more awesome and be more awesome. Please subscribe to The Alison Show, because when you subscribe to The Alison Show on YouTube, it will notify you when the next part of the series is out. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, week, night existence. Thanks, and have a good one.